Close enough. Whatever. Oh, my green screen. Oh, that was part of it.
Let
Okay.
me, did they launch it on Twitter?
Oh, I'm live now. Yeah. I didn't tweet out anything just yet. I'm going to in a second. Okay. Yep. We are live. There we go. Let me get this. Let me tweet about it. To just.
Bungie.
Random rules record books. Okay, and
Here we go. This week at Bungie.
oh, Victoria's calling me. What a good start to the stream. I literally just hit live on my stream. What's up? Everyone in stream say hi to Victoria.
Hi, Victoria.
Wait, what's on sale for 27 cents? Peeps? Oh, god dang! Get a bunch! At least $2 worth. Alright, chat. Peeps are on sale for 27 cents. How many boxes do I get?
What kind of pizza?
No, Peeps. Like the marshmallow. Peeps.
Peeps?
Oh, I learned that a group of mini chicks, like baby chicks, is called a peep. And that's why they're called Peeps.
I don't even have anything to say to that.
How many? Oh, people are saying 10? Someone said all of them?
I would not go down that sugar route.
All of them would only be about 20, 25. That's only $4.
Why are you not popping? You're not popping up live.
Refresh my channel. Yeah, YouTube's pretty bad at that. All right. Just do whatever feels right. We have $27 worth, 12 2 dozen, 12,222.
I say go 10.
JC says an even 10. I like that.
$2.70. Plus tax.
Okay, that's fine. All right, I love you. All right, bye. All right, so what a start to a stream. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing today? Well, we have a lot of stuff to talk about that I am personally very excited about. We have Jay-Z back.
What's up? I was here last week.
Yeah, but you're just back, you know?
Oh, I'm back. Okay, like
yeah.
No, I'm
dude.
here.
He's here. He never left. Okay?
Well, I hopped in my DeLorean and now I'm back. Oh, you've never seen those movies, so that reference just like goes right over your head. Never mind. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, man. So here we go. This is the last word. If you're new, you've probably already left because it was me talking to my fiance for 2 minutes and doing a bunch of other stuff. So welcome to the stream, everyone. I hope you stick around, and we're going to talk about some awesome stuff because not only did we get all this brand new information, it also looks like they're switching up how power level works and all that sort of stuff. So let's just go ahead and frickin' jump into it. So this week at Bungie, we mapped more of the road ahead. We have a new version of the Destiny 2 development roadmap. Take a look at what's coming in Season 3 throughout the summer, all the way up to the beginning of Season 4. You can read more development commentary in the full roadmap post. So we know everything that we just got with 1.1.4. With 1.2.0, we get seasonal Crucible Rankings, which there's going to be Valor and the other one, which I forget. Essentially ELO, but in the game, which is pretty cool. Private matches, vault space increases, the ability to make your emote slots whatever you want, exotic weapon masterworks, seasonal vendor progressions, which is something I'm personally excited for because that, if you have seasonal progressions, that means there's, possibilities of limited time, kind of like exotics from those, based on a seasonal kind of basis. Exotic weapon sandbox changes, heroic strike modifiers, and finally Nightfall challenge cards, which I assume are just more modifiers for the Nightfall. So, a question I have for everyone in chat, what out of all of these things, you can pick one, what are you most excited for? And Jay-Z, same question for you. Out of all the things we get on May 8th with the Warmind DLC, what are you most excited for?
I'm reading through them. I would say... Ooh. Okay, so I don't play much PvP, but with the return of random rolls, I may start playing more.
Well, that's not until September. This is just for May.
Well, okay. Let's go Crucible Rankings.
Really? That's an interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I just like being a former like hardcore PvP player back in the day. I really enjoyed having that ranking, and I don't know if they're going to do it similar to what they did in Halo, but your ranking would go up and down depending on wins and losses, and the closer you got to max rank, which was 50, like a loss would like bring you down a rank, and you had to win like 4 or 5 times to even go up another rank. So either that or the exotic sandbox changes I think will be interesting too, to maybe like make some other exotics useful. Right. Or fun to use. That actually probably that one, because we're going to be raiding. So just to have some of them maybe viable in raids and things like that will be good.
Yeah. No, definitely. I agree with that. I'm really excited for Crucible Rankings because they did mention specifically that there are rewards for people who manage to hit the higher rankings. And as a person who likes to get everything and isn't the worst at Crucible, I'm going to be very excited to grind for those. Personally, I think my favorite is going to be the exotic weapon sandbox changes. There's a lot of exotics I really want to love. Graviton Lance, Rat King, all over the place, honestly. And I think this is going to be a huge change of the entire game in terms of pace, what weapons you take in where. I think it'll be really interesting.
Well, especially having that'll be the first 2 burst pulse rifle, right?
Yeah, in Destiny history, yeah. Yeah. Let's see what chat's saying. Jesus MK2 exotic changes. Let's see. Duck of Duck, Masterworks, Masterwork exotics, Gravity, more Vault, exotic freaking Masterworks, new missions. Yeah, I guess technically, since the Warmind does come out with 1.2.0, technically that's what I'm most excited for, the new raid layer, the new missions and stuff, but that's cheating. That's not what I was talking about. Yeah, man, new armor. I'm tired of the same crap. I really think we're going to get a lot of new stuff here.
Do you want them to change the system that they have with the armor, like similar to like closer to what Destiny 1 is?
So it depends. So kind of what you're referring to. If you're talking about the seasonal ornament thing, I think that is the perfect way you could do that system. In terms of armor that doesn't drop from, that isn't ornamented. So things like the raid armor, things like random engram armor, things like Eververse armor. I want especially if they're not ornaments, I want them to look pretty unique. If they're going to take up an entirely new armor slot, then they better be worth that. But in terms of the ornaments, I mean, Season 2 ornaments, I'm working on a video right now ranking all 21, so 7 per class. They did a fantastic job with all of that. A lot of it, there's some of them, like the Vanguard ones, they don't look too different, they don't look too great. But the Trials ones, the Iron Banner ones, the New Monarchy ones, significant changes, they look awesome. And that's the type of system I always wanted in Destiny 1, because not only can you have a crap ton of really cool looking armor and have a direct way of getting it, farming for the ornaments, it doesn't take up space because it's just an ornament slot. So you have essentially in 5 seasons or whatever, I can have my trial set and have 7 different armors in taking up in one slot in each one. I think that's really cool. I definitely think it's in a good spot. What do you think? Would you change anything about the armor system, or?
Like to go along with the weapons, I would, because I enjoyed the randomness of the rolls on armor. I don't like that, like cornering itself into one archetype and then you can change that with Masterworks. I like that they added Masterworks, and I like what Masterworks does to the system, because that it gives you another option, and like you can panic pop your super in the middle of like PvE events to save your life, basically. So which really didn't have the option in Destiny 1. But on the other hand, it only gives you 3 options to roll them into compared, and then there was 3 options before, but they were different number values. So
Right.
they gave you the option of getting the max roll or the god roll, which was, I mean, that's what you're striving for as a Destiny player, especially in Destiny 1. So
I think personally, I didn't realize you were talking about like statistic wise. I think I like the Destiny 2 system better in terms of what the stats do. I don't know, like, you know, obviously intellect, discipline, and strength, like they did stuff, but I felt a lot less weight on them. I never cared about what tier I had in Destiny 1. I honestly, it just was whatever. I'd get a super when I got a super. In Destiny 2, I have optimized armor sets. You know, if I want to go fast, I have an armor set for that. If I want to play competitively and make sure I have, you know, enough armor and enough health, I have an armor set for that. So I definitely like the armor system a little bit better in Destiny 2, but I do get what you're saying where it was more of a grind in Destiny 1 because you had to optimize and you know, while you could have an intellect build, you could have better intellect builds. And
that's funny because what you're saying about Destiny 2 is what I did in Destiny 1 and haven't, like, I have my raid set obviously and normal set that I use for pretty much everything else, and you know, I haven't really done what I did in Destiny 1 with Destiny 2 armor. So that's funny how we're opposite on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like I said, I just feel like they have more weight. And because in Destiny 1, you got your super, you just got everything so fast. And especially in like Crucible, it just didn't matter that much to me. Like, you could tell a little bit, but it wasn't a huge thing. But for this, like, you can actually tell, you know, 1 recovery versus 10 recovery in Destiny 2 is super noticeable. 1 mobility, 10 mobility when you're trying to Titan skate, super noticeable. I just never felt like that with intellect and strength and discipline, in my opinion.
No, and I agree with that aspect. That was one of the complaints about the system in Destiny 1 was basically these numbers mean literally nothing. I mean, the 1 second difference between recovery or whatever it was, it might have been bigger than that, but it didn't feel any different. And like, that's the thing that I do like about this new system, is especially now that they're gonna hopefully eventually flesh speed out to where your sprint speed goes up when you have the higher agility. So
right. I would just like to point out, Gaming Aspect in chat says Destiny 2 Info Expansion 2 is God of Mars. That's actually false. As you can see right here, Bungie announced it yesterday. It's actually called Warmind. It's right there. They tweeted out a picture. They put it on the wall. Warmind is not a code for anything. It's not like a kind of development name. The expansion is actually called Warmind. Which is pretty cool because the acronym for that, like if you shorten it, is WMD, which is that's just such a cool acronym. Like I know that's not how acronyms work, but if you shorten Warmind, because so sort of like how like Curse of Osiris, COO, Taken King, TTK, Rise of Iron, RIO, ROI. I know how to words work. Yeah. Warmind's gonna be WMD, and I think that's awesome. Yeah. So in 1.2.0 we get all that. Then in the summer we get a lot of new stuff. A new seasonal event, which I think I said this last week or the week before that. It's almost necessary because there is 4 months between September and May. The DLC is not going to hold everyone over. So I think that's pretty cool. I would not be surprised if it's SRL, because like I mentioned in my video yesterday, SRLs always seem more like a summer-based thing for me. You race in the summer. It's always seemed more like a summer-worthy event, not Christmas. And because we didn't get it with the Dawning, I would not be surprised if they reworked it and put it in the summer. That being said, I would prefer an entirely new seasonal event. But as long as we get new content, I really don't. I don't care. I do expect it to be a longer event, though. And then we also get faction rally improvements. I have no idea what they're going to do. I'm pretty excited for that. Bounties are returning, which is really cool. PC clan chat, which does not matter for us, and exotic armor sandbox changes, which that's one of those things, like, I'm glad that they're focusing more on the weapons, but in terms of armor, like, I saw a lot of people making a big deal about this, but I'm not too concerned at all, because every subclass, every class has some exotic that makes it top tier. You know, maybe not in both PvE and PvP, but every subclass has some exotic that makes it viable in a good way. And there's not too many armor pieces in Destiny 2 that are like, oh, these pretty much need a very big change. So I'm not too disappointed about that being pushed back. But in terms of the new seasonal event, Jay-Z, and everyone in chat, go ahead and answer this as well. What do you guys think the new event is going to be? Or what would you like to see? A bigger one, a smaller one? Obviously, we'd like to see a bigger one. But realistically, what do you think we are going to see?
I think it's going to be a smaller... I mean, I don't want them to put a bunch of development time behind a seasonal event. I'd rather focus on the content that's going to matter in the long run. Unless, you know, it's a separate team. So I'm trying to think what they could possibly do. I think you nailed it on the head with SRL, but they've traditionally released that in wintertime. Trying to think, they have any new mechanics that they could make an event. I mean, the tower is freaking huge. They could do something in the tower, even an event.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like a, I don't want to say like a water gun match or something, like, because we did
what?
well, we did snowballs, and we did
so just as like a side of it.
Yeah,
okay,
like you get a super soaker, and you know I don't know.
I think like a mini Age of Triumph would be really cool as well, because, you know, if Savathun does come in September, I think it would mean a lot more if we're celebrating or whatever. So maybe like give us a record. Oh, record books don't come until September. Never mind, I lied. They could do a lot of stuff. I'm pretty excited for it. It's one of those things that, yeah, it seems like a lot of people are saying SRL and big team battle. 16 versus 16. Why would they do that? Name
it's laggy enough already.
Yeah, name one Crucible map that could fit 32 people, and then maybe I'd entertain the idea.
Well, if you connect them all together, Skarrow, you can, you know, have a big team battle. Yeah,
for real. This is actually a really good question. A lot of people were asking this. Cameron Hakey, Skarrow, I thought back in Rise of Iron we ended Siva. So there's a couple misconceptions about this. First off, the Warmind DLC is not confirmed to deal with Siva at all. In fact, if you look at this, there is no Siva in this picture. This is purely a Warmind core, probably a leftover Rasputin core, or a leftover Charlemagne core that Rasputin took over. There is no... as far as we know, Siva's not going to be in this DLC. I would not be surprised if it is, but I would also not be surprised if it's not. I'm kind of like 50-50. The way they worded it yesterday, we will be fighting new enemies. I personally am of the mindset that this new DLC is only going to deal with Rasputin, and we are going to be fighting frames. I don't know if these frames are going to be modified with Siva. As far as we know, there's not really Siva on Mars, but the Clovis Bray research to develop Siva did take place on Mars. So it's a possibility that Rasputin got some after he took over Charlemagne's subsystems. There's a possibility that Charlemagne maintained some of his life, I guess. We thought that all the Warminds were dead. In Destiny 1, some of the Warminds on Mars, if you looked at them, actually suggested that they were controlled by Charlemagne and not Rasputin. So there is a possibility he is still alive as well. I'm pretty sure this is going to center around Warminds and not Fallen and Siva, though. There might be some Siva entangled, but I think it would be used by the Warminds, and I think it's mostly going to be like Warmind frames and stuff. And then just to address your actual question, didn't we take care of Siva in Rise of Iron? We took care of the Siva on Earth. We got rid of the replication chamber. The Fallen no longer have it. Siva can't replicate anymore there. But we also put Siva in different places of the universe. For instance, the Exodus Black that crashed on Nessus, that was carrying Siva. We know that for a fact. So there's still other sources of Siva out there, but that being said, that does not guarantee this DLC is going to have anything to do with Siva. Yeah, there you go. That's Skarrow's nerd time.
Well said.
Sorcerer, Cold Heart is good. Very constructive feedback to the conversation. No, man. I'm just kidding. Scarrow, they could use Mercury because that's the same size as 4 Crucible maps. Can you imagine just the patrol zone of Mercury? Just 32 people fighting each other? That would be quite entertaining, to say the most. Forcer says, Skarrow, I hope the new enemy in this DLC is like one-time enemy that after we beat, we won't get contact with them. So, maybe. I think it's a lot to ask for them to develop an entirely new enemy race and us not ever use them again. Maybe take kind of a break from, sort of like they did with the Taken. So we got the Taken with Taken King, and we haven't had any major stories. Sure, they pop up here and there. We had the April update with the Taken Spring. They were in like 2 seconds of the Destiny 2 submissions and stuff. There's a strike on PS4. But until, you know, that's 2 whole years. Assuming that we get Savathun in the Taken in the September, that's, you know, they used him once and then put him on hold for 2 years. I could see that happening. Yeah.
I'm just excited for if they truly are releasing new enemies.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be great.
Yeah, I don't want to get anyone overly hyped for that. I mean, we'll find out in 12 days on the 24th. But the way they worded it, the lore surrounding the situation, and the position that Bungie is in right now, I would not be surprised if it is a new enemy race. That being said, don't get your hopes up super high. It's like I said, 50-50 chance, Siva or Frames. Maybe a combination of the two. I guess we'll see. Then in September, we get gear collections, which someone... I didn't catch this on my first reading, but someone commented on my last video, and it's an excellent point. We already have exotic collections. So if they're throwing in gear collections, that makes it sound almost like legendary gear collections, no?
Possibly.
Maybe they're talking about ships and sparrows, with ships, sparrows, and ghosts. That's a possibility.
Yeah, because they have new ones every season.
Yeah.
So.
I just feel like it, yeah, that's probably it. Because if they're bringing in legendary, or if they're bringing in random rolls, I can't see them having a gear collection for those as well. So probably not. Record books, weapon slot changes, which is really interesting that they're teasing that this early in advance. Weapon randomization, which doesn't directly say randomized perks, but I mean, it has to be some form of randomized perks. And they also said that Mods 2.0 is going to be mixed in with that. And more yet to be revealed. So, of course, whenever Season 4 starts, we will get the Taken Queen-esque expansion and that kind of stuff. But since they are adding mods to weapon randomization, I think there's going to be some like a kind of randomized portion of that when it drops, and then also a portion you can control by adding your own perks to weapons. I think would be really cool. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers the roadmap. So the Warmind, like we said, arrives on May 8th. We're going to be trying for World's First, presumably on the 11th. That's always 3 days after on the Friday. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. If you guys want wallpapers like I have right there, there's links right there. Definitely hit those up because they're awesome. And then this is the next thing we're going to talk about. Ultimate Power. This is them changing the power levels, it looks like. So they say, one thing we're changing up at the beginning of Season 3 is how your power level will affect the enemies you face. As you tackle a new campaign and start taking on activities above your power level, you may find that the villains you face put up more of a fight. Here's the combatant's design lead, Tomonori Kinoshita, I butchered that, I apologize, to give you some details on the changes we are making. Tomo says, hey folks, I'd like to let you know of an upcoming PvE difficulty tuning pass that should be hitting your consoles and PCs along with the beginning of Season 3. The main goal from this tuning pass are to provide a more challenging experience for players when they are taking on higher leveled activities. This should make power progression acquisition more meaningful, reinforce and reward the energy type matching gameplay, and provide opportunities to our master PvEers to demonstrate their prowess at the highest levels. I like it already, okay? Yeah. So how are we going to tackle this? Changing our outgoing player damage scaling versus higher level combatants to be steeper, making them more difficult, similar to Destiny 1. As a result, higher level combatants will take longer to kill than they currently do, but if you're at or above their level, you can still melt them, like you've come to love with Update 1.1.4. Extend our outgoing and incoming damage scaling from capping at a 40 power level delta to a 50 power level delta. Currently in Destiny 2, our scaling only affects the difficulty of combatants up to 40 power levels above the player before plateauing. Increasing this to 50 power levels adds a little more room for players to show off how badass they really are. When combatants are 50 power levels or higher above the player, they will be immune and display a question mark icon, just like in Destiny 1. On their nameplate. OG Guardians probably remember the first time they stumbled across Hive in the depths of the Cosmodrome. We wanted to bring back that feeling of mystery and provide challenges for the player to come back to later in their journey. I like that change a lot.
Yep.
Change combatants' shield energies to fulfill the following. Matching energy element damage to the shield is most effective, roughly 3 times the damage plus the current shield detonation, followed by non-matching energies, roughly 2 times the damage, and kinetic damage that won't have any bonus damage multiplier. To further incentivize the matching game, the 3 times multiplier for the damage types is not affected by the damage scaling of higher level combatants until the combatants display the question mark. So essentially, elements are going to matter a whole lot more, that's really awesome. The previous change also allows us to bring back match game as an additional prestige Nightfall modifier for extra points and bragging rights. When this modifier is enabled, all non-matching damage to energy shields is reduced to 10%, so make sure your fire team is coordinating appropriately. The current plan is for match game to launch along with the rest of these difficulty changes. We look forward to watching the community show off their PvE skills after these new settings go live. Show us what you're made of, Guardian. And this means that the raid is actually going to be significantly harder than the 2 we have now, because depending on the different enemy types, we're going to have to work that much harder to match shield with our weapons, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Man. The September expansion will be the Reef, not Savathun. Well, good thing that their stories are heavily connected. Skarrow, I really want another event like the one before House of Wolves. I played 14 hours straight doing that event. What event came before House of Wolves? The Queen's Wrath one?
Yeah, it was Queen's Wrath. I thought Queen's Wrath happened before Crota. I can't remember, though.
Yeah, I thought it was, too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just in vanilla.
Mm-hmm.
Argo says, I hope they had collections for Raid Gear, Strike Gear, Trials Gear, and maybe not Strike Gear because they could end up adding random rolls. But Trials and Raid Gear are static. I agree with that, actually. I like that a lot. What do you, Jay-Z, would you like to see a permanent place if you earn the raid gloves once, you can go pick them up again, like similarly to exotics? Or are you of the mindset you have to go grind it out again?
I would rather grind it out, honestly. Like, that's part of the fun for me in games, is the grind, so I would be okay with that. I know that the average player is not going to be, so I understand that aspect if it's not, but I'd rather grind.
Yeah. Maybe I'm kind of indifferent on it. Yeah, it's whatever. I'd like it either way. Simon says, I could see them moving towards a random roll perk system and allow players to use silver to buy a reload so you could choose to grind or pay the piper. I don't think so. No, maybe I could have seen them doing that before the Eververse controversy. Actually, no. That could be considered pay to win. Yes. No, but I don't think Bungie would have ever made that move, to be honest. Especially not after the Eververse fiasco of 2017. Skarrow, please say hi to YouTube, to the fam. I thought I said hi to all you guys. Welcome to the stream, guys. 29 minutes in. I hope you're having a great day. Yeah, I think Queen's Wrath was the first live event in Destiny. It was.
Yeah, it was not very good either. And I didn't know about how good that sniper was either.
Yeah, the Supremacy Arena. Yeah. Queen's Wrath was brought back a week before the DLC, except completely different. Remember farming treasure keys? I do remember doing the treasure key thing. I didn't I don't remember that giving you reputation. That was my first week in Destiny, though. So I
remember when you could leave the area and come back.
Yeah, that was my okay. So like, I got up to level 40 on my second day, and then the entirety, because that summer I was working at McDonald's. It was my last summer of high school, before I went to college, and I worked like 3 o'clock in the morning to noon or to 1, 3 to 1, and then yeah, 3 to noon. And then so I had like the entire night. So I would go off and I got to level 40 in like 2 days. Or not level 40, excuse me. Maximum regular level 20 or 25 with Crota. 20 with Crota. And then, yeah, my entire that first week was just running back and forth because I didn't know anyone yet. Was running back and forth farming legendaries from those chests. I thought it was so cool.
It was all, like, they took it away as fast as possible, but I had so much fun farming. Like, seeing how many times you could farm that chest in one run.
Yeah, it was. Dang, that was pretty fun too. Cameron, do you think Savathun is the Taken Queen? Yes. Yeah, that's who we are referring to. Xivu or Wrath isn't even the story at this point. James, you guys have it all wrong. Varys is being held captive inside of Rasputin's bunker because the Queen's dick brother who wants to be Kel, so we're going to have to save him. Don't think that's how any of the Grimoire goes, but close enough, I guess. Oh, this one's actually pretty good, aside. Like, you could use Masterwork cores to reroll Masterworks, so they could allow you to Bright Dust to reroll weapons. But what I meant is actually pretty good is that you could use Masterwork cores to reroll perks on weapons. So similarly to how we can reroll recovery, resilience, and mobility, maybe on weapons you could spend 3 Masterwork cores and change one of the perks. That, if they're going to do something like that, I would not be surprised if it's like that, but I hate the idea of re-rolling, so I hope they don't. I think, in my opinion, re-rolling ruined House of Wolves. I never want it back in Destiny. Get rid of it. It's a bad idea. People can't ask for us to grind really hard and farm and then beg for reforging. They're completely opposite ends of the spectrum. So, yeah, I'm not a fan.
Well, it was fun to get those God Roll weapons in the first week. It wasn't fun after that because there's nothing else to do because you're like, oh, I got this weapon and I have a God Roll. Guess I'm trashing it. Yeah.
Oh, man. Alrighty. The next thing is Bungie is talking about their yearly fundraiser for the Ronald McDonald House in Seattle. They do it every year. They usually have rewards. Yeah, okay, they're the same rewards as last year. Yeah, a lot of art and stuff. It's a great cause, but I don't have anywhere near $2,000. So, yeah, so good luck on that for them. It's pretty cool. Interesting. Okay. Iron Banner. Last week we discovered a late-breaking bug that was going to cause issues with the upcoming 6v6 Iron Banner. We decided to postpone the event and replace it with Rumble. We have resolved the issue with 6v6 Iron Banner, and it will be going live at 1 o'clock Eastern on April 17th. So next Tuesday. The details posted in This Week of Bungie are still true for the upcoming Iron Banner. Sorry for the last-minute schedule changes. We look forward to watching players participate in 6v6 action for the first time in Destiny 2. We will be on hand to gather your feedback. Make Lord Saladin proud. Now, I will say, Bungie's transition to delaying Iron Banner to having six-man Rumble ready less than 2 weeks later to already fixing this bug less than a week later is extremely impressive for Bungie. If this is the type of speed and kind of feedback loop we're going to be seeing all the way in the future, I'm super happy with this. To my knowledge, Bungie has never acted this fast on anything, which isn't necessarily like, I understand it's dangerous to go that fast because you'll mess up the game and whatever. That just makes this even more impressive that they were able to. Jay-Z, we're running 6v6 Iron Banner all week. You got it? You're in. You can't even say no. I'm not even giving you a chance to respond because I don't want to even give you a chance to say no.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. Scarrow, have you played 6-Man Rumble yet? It's way better. I plan to do a stream tomorrow night, I believe, actually. Yeah. I'm pretty excited for that. I really am. We have some issues with the Crucible, and then our next update is only a month away. We'll have to share, or we will have more info to share with you before then. Keep an eye on this blog as well as our upcoming stream on April 24th. See an Iron Banner next week. Heart Cosmo. That's a pretty solid weekly update right there. Yeah. Is there anything that they haven't addressed yet, Jay-Z, that you really wish they would address? Or just something that you are surprised they addressed while it's not really a topic of discussion?
I didn't think that we would see random rolls come back until at least Taken Queen. So I'm surprised at that. It was a happy surprise because that's what I've been calling for since day one, or not day one, but like week 2 of the game, when I started realizing there wasn't as much to do, past because obviously we were the 1% that went through all the content way faster than you should, to get raid ready. So yeah, that was my surprise from Bungie.
Yeah, that being said, technically it is probably with the Taken Queen, but the fact that they addressed it so far in advance is really cool.
Oh yeah, well, you think Taken Queen's gonna come out in August?
September.
September.
Yeah, that's what the September changes. Yeah, that's when Taken King, September 15th, September 9th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it will, but I'm more interested. So, weapon randomization, weapon slot changes, they said, yeah, we owe you guys an explanation. I'm surprised that they committed to a date. And then ahead of that, the record books. I haven't really heard many people ask record books. In fact, in my last stream, I think someone asked me what I missed that no one is talking about, and I believe I said record books, or that was Arlo. He might have said record books back to me, but either way, the point still stands. Record books was not something that a lot of people were talking about, and it's something I think the game very much could benefit from. So I'm excited that they're bringing them back. That's really cool. There's nothing here I am dissatisfied with, and seeing the Warmind picture makes me so excited for the future.
Yeah, that's a really sick picture, and sick in a good way.
Sick in a good way, yeah. He's hip, guys. But it's crazy to me. This is the first DLC. I'm gonna keep saying this because I'm so excited. My last exam is. Let me check. Let me check my calendar right here. It's May. My last exam is May 4th. That means I have the entirety of the DLC, launch to end, just to grind, make videos, do live streams, just go for it. And I'm so excited for that. That's when I work the best. That's why when I enjoy life is just like when I can be a workaholic and it's all right. Like it's just there's so much to do. Like when I want to work on videos and there's not that much content, it's like, oh god, what do I do with myself? But whenever we have a new DLC, and for the world's first, like because we keep doing the raids pretty much weekly, and we're gonna continue to, and we're gonna just keep doing it. I think we have such a huge advantage over all the content creators that stopped playing. Because we're going to have the synergy down. We're going to be warmed up to Destiny. We're going to know the new systems. We're going to know what's good and all that kind of stuff. I'm so excited for that personally. This new raid layer is going to kick ass. I don't know how they're going to tie in Rasputin to the Leviathan, but I know I'm going to love it. So I'm pretty excited. And if we get Mars back, which, we're getting Mars back more than likely, but if we get Mars back, that's going to be amazing. So I can't freaking wait, man.
What do you think the size of this raid is going to be?
One more encounter. I think it'll take about an hour to complete. If you're speaking.
Yeah, I think it'll be between the size of the 2 raids, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Somewhere, like a Crota but with a better first encounter, like a longer first encounter or a longer Destiny.
Yeah, hopefully a sub boss. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully we finally get a sub boss. I'm thinking, yeah, I guess that's the best way to measure it. 2 sub bosses, 1 puzzly encounter, with 1 jump puzzle in there as well.
Yeah, you've always got to have those lulls in between your intense battles.
So yeah, I'm thinking like you walk in, you do you go to the first encounter, mini boss. Maybe a little bit leading up to the mini boss. A little bit in between, like you walk into the next room, puzzle, a lull, final boss or something like that.
Yeah, I think Bungie's ultimate experience as far as mini boss leading up to it is probably Wrath. Like
definitely,
they teased the mini boss, and then they gave you the mini boss after a jumping puzzle, and then you got another side boss kind of. I don't know what you would consider a
tutorial boss.
Yeah, and then you got phase 1 and then phase 2. So to me that was the ultimate raid experience as far as
agreed. And
everything all in one.
One thing that Wrath of the Machine did so well, and I'm going to keep harping on this. So with Crota, Sisters taught you the mechanics, but it got really tedious. I feel like Axis Phase 1 never got tedious. It was always just fun. And if we're going back to the techno-y, Siva, Warmind, really cool soundtrack, I mean, Wrath of the Machine, in my opinion, Rise of Iron as a whole has the best soundtrack ever out of anything. I'm looking forward to see what they can do, especially the Axis, the end music where you got the techno, and you got when you get close to killing them, you have the choir going in the background, and it's that. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I didn't even get to experience that until I got
gaming
headset. Yeah, because I'd always keep the TV down so you couldn't hear it through the headphones.
Yeah.
So I wasn't reverberating, and actually hearing that it literally gets you pumped up as you're playing that encounter. So yeah, that'll be good. I thought that the music was really good on the first 2 raids, so on this. So as long as they keep that same continuity going up as far as doing well with that aspect, the music aspect on the raids.
Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up the stream. Let's see what everyone has to say first, and then we can see what's going on. Jerry, record books are awesome. Another grind to chase. Agreed. Sai, they're on the right track, but it would be awesome if they sped up the development a little bit. I agree, but better safe than sorry. Honestly, September is not that far away. So, in the long scheme of Destiny and all the events that we're getting, I mean, if you look on this roadmap, there's a lot of stuff. This isn't stuff that is in the game that they're fixing. This is brand new stuff. Record books, that's all new.
Well, the roles and even in the weapon slot changes, if they're doing that quickly after September, that's all fundamental systems that they have to change in their game.
Exactly. That's not. I mean, I guess it could be kind of equated to adding an artifact slot, but if they're changing up weapon slots a lot, that's UI. That is what weapons go where, what weapons drop where, what weapons you can equip where. That's significant changes. New seasonal event. I mean, hopefully it's all new stuff. Faction rally improvements. This isn't up to this point in Destiny 2. It's been tweaking things that are kind of already in the game, but making them a lot better. Past 1.2.0, it's all new stuff. This is new UI, new coding, new NPCs, new everything. I'm excited for it. I know it seems like it's going to take a long time, but honestly, once we hit May 8th, the rest will just fly by. I guarantee it. It's going to be a great summer, and fall and the rest of life. It's going to be great, guys. Forster says record books were something we didn't care about, but now that we're gone, we miss them. Sort of. I definitely took record books for granted, but I wouldn't say I didn't care about them. I mean, I completed every record book 100%. Well,
yeah.
Not the Age of Triumph, because I didn't play Vanilla and I didn't play Crota, but I got 100% to what I could physically complete. So,
no, I enjoyed record books for what they were, because they, especially since I was a vanilla Destiny 1 player, So like I had all that stuff done, and it was cool just to see, because it gives you a visual representation of you completed this, you worked, you grinded for this, you know, that type of thing. So
Right.
like we don't have that currently, other than, oh, you've got this armor and you know, some weapons from this event. But like to see like, oh, I did this in 2017, you know, like
Yeah.
thinking back to it, like it's a reminiscing thing that you can do too, like nostalgia, I guess.
Agreed.
So.
Agreed. Jerry, rewards from record books would be fantastic. I mean, that's exactly what Jay-Z was just saying, and well, in the dates and stuff. But yeah, I agree with that. As long as they're decent rewards, they always did emblems and stuff. I'd like to see maybe some more ornamental stuff, but all around, I don't mind it. Arlo,
Yeah.
do you?
Some weapon skins, like to make them look different.
Oh, ornaments!
Yeah.
Especially now that there's so many different ornaments. I 100% agree with that. Yes?
Have you ordered anything recently?
I'm on stream.
Have you ordered anything?
Yes, give me a sec. Sorry, someone rudely interrupted me.
You're not getting any peace.
I'll steal yours. All right. SkarrowFail asks, when will they add Sparrow Racing back? Who knows? Maybe summer, but who honestly knows? Arlo, do you think there should be a third Crucible rank based off of personal performance, just based on how many kills and deaths you got, not winning or losing, because sometimes you get bad teams? And so he's referring to Valor, and the other one, they do they're based off of like how many games you win and how many wins total you get. So Valor, one of them is based on how many wins you get in your lifetime. Losses don't count. One of them is how many wins you get, like minus how many losses. So there's one that's kind of like ELO, and there's one that's just based on like how much you play. Maybe Arlo, but I don't know. I think it's more based on of like competitive teams, but I don't know, man. Simon, they need ornament collection so they don't have to take up inventory space. Oh, Sai, they don't take up inventory space. If you go, one sec, do I have an ornament? This is something I personally didn't know. It took me forever to figure out. So if you have an ornament here, if you hold, so if you go over X, or if you hover over it, it'll say like X to use or something. It won't say dismantle, it'll say something. And if you hold X on it, you will permanently have it, always.
Yeah.
So like I don't have any ornaments in my thing. I don't have any ornaments in my I can't prove that I don't have any ornaments in my vault, but I don't. And see, like I'm running ornaments on everything.
You know, it's a much nicer system, so you don't have to take an inventory slot for it.
Yeah,
Other
like
than
you
the
just
initial one that goes in your what was it, the mods inventory.
agreed. And so that's all you have to do is hit X and I think it says consume it or something. I was surprised when
consume ornament. Yeah.
I was confused at first too, because I was like, oh my god, am I deleting these? No, you just use them. Donovan, I wish armor could look awesome again. Well, look at my character right now, and then just
Can't see your character.
Oh yeah, I'm playing Destiny. There we go. Look at my character right there. Then tell me, thank you, Jay-Z. Tell me my character doesn't look awesome. I know what you're saying, but there are awesome. One thing I do like about right now is that the coolest looking armor sets are by far the hardest to obtain. I like that a lot. So,
Fact.
I do agree that some need to look cooler. Sasquatch, random rolls, as we know from Destiny 1, is not confirmed or coming back. It is weapon randomization incorporated to whatever weapons. I already explained all of this. I literally spent 10 minutes explaining all that. I don't even know if Bungie knows exactly what they're going to do yet, though. I mean, that's a 5-month away change. I'm sure they're in the very early development stages. Not even development, planning stages. But I would not be surprised if Bungie doesn't know exactly what they're going to be doing.
All we can do is thank them for being transparent about it, and
Boom.
we'll get more info. I mean, they've got to fill up these weekly updates with something, so they're eventually going to give us in-depth analysis of what they're going to do with everything.
Right. Popeye's Watermelon. I seriously can't wait for bounties. Things like Sunrise and Crucible ones have such good items. I don't know if they're going to do that exact system. I think that'd be pretty cool. I don't know. We'll really just have to wait and see how they do the system and what they expand on. But yeah, I mean, that's all we have to talk about this week. I say all we have to talk about, like, this isn't some of the largest news we've had in Destiny 2 history. That we have covered everything. DLC, we get the reveal in less than 2 weeks, including the trailer. We get the DLC in less than 30 days. Man, I'm just beyond hyped at this point. I can't even put it into words. I'm just so excited. If you guys haven't farmed the DFA, it took me 22 Nightfalls to get. Definitely worth it, though. It's so crispy. I have a video coming out maybe tonight if I can get some good footage. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, but that is going to end the stream. So, Jay-Z, do you have anything to say last minute?
No, I love this. Well, I'm saying something. I love this. I love everything that I see on this. You know, I think that they're acknowledging that, you know, maybe they, you know, a lot of what they were trying to do didn't work out, and at least they're making changes for the better of the community. So that's all we can ask from a developer, and hopefully they continue to improve upon their product.
Agreed. I just want to say one last thing. Axis says Destiny 2 needs difficulty changes or scaling, though. Once again, I just spent 10 minutes reading this where they are, in fact, doing that exact thing. So you guys should probably listen before making comments. Maybe.
Well, I'm sorry, what did you say?
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. One last thing. Why is random rolls are coming back in the title and thumbnail? Because random rolls are coming back to some extent. They're coming back.
He has the picture pulled up right in his background.
Yeah, it's like literally right there. Weapon randomization. You don't say they're static rolls when it's that. Come on, guys. You guys are fishing for drama right now. Yeah, but that's going to be the end of the stream. Once again, thank each and every one of you who came out and discussed everything with us. I really do appreciate it. As always, discussion really breeds progress. And honestly, I'd like to think that our discussions over the past, oh my god, it's been 8 months since Destiny 2 came out. No, it hasn't. 7 months.
No, 6. A little over 6, yeah.
6. Oh my goodness, I'm old. Well, over the last half a year has fueled a lot of the changes that are going to do. I like to think that. And honestly, who knows? So that's going to be it. There's everything we have going. I really appreciate you guys. Once again, I'm Skarrow9. Follow me out on Twitter at Skarrow9 to keep up to date when we're going live with this. Any live streams we're doing, any videos I'm going to be putting up. Jay-Z, go ahead and do your thing, man.
Jay-Z Basketball 25 on Twitter and Xbox.
Woots woots. There we go, guys. Well, once again, thank each and every one of you for coming out. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate your faces. And yeah, until the next streamer video, I'll see you guys next time.
Peace.